Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and today we're getting to a video I've been very intrigued by for quite a long time, and that is Geoff Castellucci's cover of Elvis Presley's amazing Way Down, which is a song I really enjoy. I actually came across this song originally with the cover by Status Quo, which does not stand up, unfortunately. I was actually singing a cover gig with my band for a friend's birthday back in the UK years ago. And one of the reasons I got into Quo was we did a few Quo songs for the birthday, and we were doing the sound check. And we got through to the end of a Quo song in the sound check, and an older guy who'd been sitting having a drink at the bar came up to me and said, "That was great, you sounded fantastic. Did you realize you were singing a different song to the one the band was playing?" And this was one of the things with Status Quo, and it got me interested in digging into them, actually, is that they repeated chord sequences and sort of section lengths across a lot of songs, and they just changed the rhythm of the drums and the strumming and that sort of thing. But we had two songs in the set that were identical chords, identical lengths, verse and chorus structures, and all that kind of thing. And the band was playing one, and I'd sung the other. But I dug into Quo, and I came across Way Down, and it just didn't impress me particularly, so I didn't bother looking into it. And then I heard the Elvis version and went, oh, this is what that song's actually supposed to be. Which isn't to cast a slur on Quo. I do thoroughly enjoy a lot of their music, but they didn't do justice to this cover, unfortunately. I am very keen to see what Geoff does with it, because one of the things I do know about it, and it was this prior to starting into the learning about subharmonics and things like that. This was the song that had the deepest note I had heard, which is it's sung by a singer called J.D. Sumner, and at the end of every chorus in the Elvis version, he hits a C2. Which, of course, is chick feed to Geoff. But, you know, at the time, as somebody who adores bass of all types, that was incredible. Future David here. I just finished recording this video about 20 minutes ago, and I was about to take it into the editor, and I realized I didn't actually mention that at the end of the song, J.D. Sumner actually sings a C1. I think I haven't heard this for probably 8 or 9 years, the Elvis version, and I think at the time I didn't fully appreciate that that's what he was doing. I didn't have sort of the full awareness of lower bass ranges, and I think I don't know what my mind heard, because I should have known that, but it didn't really sort of clock into my head until I was thinking about it, and I just went back and played the ending of the Presley version and went, oh, no, that absolutely is a C1 he drops down to. I think maybe what it is he actually drops down without enhanced range. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure he sings a C1 in chest, which is crazy. And I think because it wasn't a subharmonic or something like that sounds a little different, my brain kind of almost didn't clock it somehow. Anyway, I wanted to correct the fact that I don't mention that at all in this video. I make it sound like the C2 is the lowest note he hits, and of course it's not. So just wanted to jump in and say that. All right, back to past David to go and enjoy the reaction. Anyway, Way Down, fantastic piece of music. It was written by Layng Martine Jr. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's like Lane from Voice Play, but with a G on the end. Layng, I think. Was covered by Status Quo, also by Cliffhanger. I haven't heard the Cliffhanger version, actually. I'm just aware that it exists. But this is quite a poignant song. It was recorded at Graceland by Elvis and released on June the 6th, 1977, and was his current single at the time that he died. And of course that boosted its popularity because, you know, that's sort of what happens. People want to commemorate and remember and all that sort of thing. It was heading up the Billboard 100. It was in the top 40. It peaked at 31 and was actually going back down again. I think it had got into the 50s when he died. But what it did do is it bumped to number 1 on both the American country and the British pop charts. Very shortly after he passed. And that was the 33rd number 1 of his career, which is incredible. It was reissued in 2005, actually, and hit number 2 on the UK singles charts then, so shows the staying power that this song had. That's quite incredible. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Geoff does with this. I believe, unless I'm very much mistaken, this is also where we actually get actively introduced to the Geofettes. So I'm kind of curious to see that, which is one of the reasons it's been on my list for a long time. Also, I believe Geoff does an inordinate amount of very cool dancing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too. Credits for this one are what would be expected. Arranged, performed, and edited by Geoff. Audio mixes Ed Boyer. Production manager Kathy. Choreography by Chris Dupre, who I suspect is going to be lauded by the end of this. He also helped Geoff with the creative direction. Lighting by Ellie. Steadicam done by Layng in this case. So Layng filmed it. That's cool. Camera assistant Chili Horton, and filmed at Paddy Cake, which I recognise from the set. It looks very much like a Paddy Cake studio. I'm not sure if it's the same. I don't think it's the same background as White Christmas, but it's got kind of some of that layout. And this one has indeed been recommended to me. I haven't sort of written down a lot of people who recommended it, because it was less about recommending it and more about kind of just telling me that this was when the clones got named, the Geofettes. Huldra Draco was the first person who recommended this to me way back in November, less than a month after I'd started reacting. So, yeah, but I know many people have mentioned it. I just didn't write them down at the time, which of course I regret now, because I want to, recognize people who recommended cool songs to me. But anyway, this is going to be a random insert from Future David, who's just reacted to this and is about to do the analysis and realised that I didn't introduce myself, so I'm going to do it now. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. The way this is going to work is I'm going to watch the video straight through, enjoy it, emote, comment, spoiler alert, laugh a lot, over the duration of this, and then after that I will go back and watch it through from the beginning, interrupting this time and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can. So if you're just here for the reaction, the first quarter or so of this video should be enough for you. Please do like this video, subscribe to the channel, it's free for you, it does amazing things for me. I'm just about at 1,700 subscribers as I record this. Let's get that pushed to 2,000. I would love to have 2,000, let's say, before August. I don't know if that's doable, but let's push for it. You can hit the notification bell and be told every time I release a video, or never be told when I release a video. It's up to you. And if you'd care to, you can head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you are able to donate to support the channel. And I would be very, very grateful for your support. But of course, it is not necessary. With that gone over, back to past David, who hasn't seen this video yet and doesn't know the fun that he's in for. Yeah, let's jump into this. I am very excited to see what Geoff does with this song. It's a very cool song. He's a very cool dude. I feel like this can only go well. So this is Mr. Geoff Castellucci performing Elvis Presley's Way Down. I do enjoy this. Oh, it's the janitor! I've seen gifs of this, but I didn't click that. He's playing his own version, that's fun. Oh, that's nice.
Babe, you're getting closer. The lights are going dim. The sound of him breathing, yeah, has made the mood I'm in. Well, all of my resistance,
nice,
lying on the floor. You're taking me to places that I've never been before. Ooh, and I can feel it.
Oh, are they behind the curtain? Oh, that's fun. Nice job, Ellie. Yes.
My head is spinning. You've got me in your spell. 100 magic fingers.
Yes.
A burning carousel. Come on.
The look.
Love is doing describe.
Oh, nicely done.
And I can feel it.
Yes.
Way down where the music plays. Way down like a tidal wave. Way down where the fires blaze. Way down.
Oh, he's doing this so well.
Way down where it feels so good. Way down like I hoped it would. Way down like I never could.
Yes. God's face.
Way on down. Way on down.
Oh. Oh. Yes. Yes, Geoff. Yes, C1.
Misty mountains cold was way better.
Oh, that's so good. Yes, I know I still need to get to Misty Mountains Cold and about 8 of Geoff's other songs. Oh, that... Yes. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy, as always, the very cool album artwork that Geoff's got here. Obviously, we saw it on his phone right at the beginning of that when he started playing it, but it's so simple, but very effective. People said I was going to enjoy this one, and you were not lying. That is so good. Ah, so good. Geoff's also got a solid talent for dancing, which I thoroughly enjoy. My goodness. And the comedy in this is fantastic. I think that really suits what he's... What's so great is, if you weren't watching what was happening here, it's an amazing song that has kind of a little humor in it, especially if you don't know the kind of notes he can hit. But with this video attached to it, oh, genius. Genius, I say. So that's Chris and Geoff doing the creative direction there. My goodness, you folks did a fantastic job. And Ellie with that lighting, that was fantastic. In fact, everybody involved, but those just stood out to me. Also, just some really cool movement work, like not even necessarily dance, but just the simple movement he does, which is also falls under choreography. A lot of people don't necessarily think of that because it's not actual dancing, but it doesn't have to be. This is great. Let's go back to the top and do a run through of this. Also, I realized there's one person I know in the voice play fandom who doesn't like songs in C major. Curious to know what they think of this. We'll have to follow up and find out. Okay. So let's go back and check this out and see what I can pull out of it. All right. Actually, before I even start, this set's just so cool. I love the idea, like the concept of doing a cinema thing, or, sort of a fancy stage effect, either one. Obviously, we're going for cinema here with the popcorn and things like that. It makes complete sense. It works with the Elvis thing. The idea of making it messy and setting Geoff as the janitor is so much fun. I love the trope of the janitor who's actually really cool and when no one's looking, just rocks the heck out. It's really good fun, and it's used to such great effect in this. Oh, I've still got it muted from the stupid advert. And the fact that we start on sort of effectively dead air of just the room sound, Geoff's footsteps, it sets up kind of the depressing nature of the job really nicely. So there's nothing cool going on. It's just a dead room with a dude coming in to clean it up. Oh, now the fun thing with this is it kind of sets the music up as being diegetic. Diegesis, for those of you who haven't come across the term before, refers to sound being set in the scene. So, for example, the entire Lord of the Rings score, to pull something out of my head, is non-diegetic. That is to say, well, with a couple of exceptions, actually. The songs that are in it are diegetic. But the orchestral sweeping music that's over the battles and anything else, and indeed most film scores, are non-diegetic. That is to say that the characters in the film cannot hear them. A fantastic example of diegetic music is the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. Because pretty much, maybe every time, but certainly most of the time that music is playing in those movies, Peter Quill is listening to it on whichever device he happens to have at that point. The Zune, most recently, the Walkman in the original film. And it's an iPod, I think, in Volume 2, right? But that is all diegetic, because even though, you know, he's got earphones in, maybe Rocket can't hear it some of the time, or Groot can't hear it some of the time. They do some of the time because it's blasting over the ship's speakers. But even when it's in his ears, someone in the scene is capable of hearing it. Therefore, it is diegetic. If there's an orchestra on a stage, like, you know, say Mr. Holland's Opus, that is diegetic music because the orchestra is playing it and the characters in the film can hear it. Hopefully that makes sense. So the fact that they've set this up as diegetic music, and yet at the same time it's going to be him that's singing it, is a lot of fun, because it's kind of like a double thing, where he's listening to it on the iPhone, so technically it's the iPhone performance that we're hearing, but at the same time it's him that's singing it. So he is, you know, maybe he's singing to the karaoke track, who's to say. But I just really like this idea that they've kind of set it up as this double thing. Yeah, very cool start. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I mean, what's not to love about that? It's a song start. A song? What is a song? A song starting, there we go, with Geoff very low, doing a really cool riff, and then falling off it into his boots. I mean, that's pretty much an all-round win by my books. It's just a really cool thing. Like, it's in the vibe. We have this very simple dum 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 dum, not doing anything complicated in the guitar part, and yet we have this really, really cool riff that just sets this song up to be more than just dum da dum da dum da dum. That's just awesome.
Babe, you're getting close.
What's... What I also love about this is we've got this really nice rhythm being set up here. We've got the, whatever the little sort of pop sound is on the 2 and the 4s. So dum 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 dum. But at the same time, if you listen to the emphasis on the strums, it's giving us a very slightly different rhythm. It's giving us dum 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 dum. This sort of 1, 2, and 4 being the points of the beat. Very common rhythm. We've heard it before on the channel many times. But I love the fact that it's very subtle here. It's not, the percussion is going anti to that. It's doing its own thing. But that rhythm is just being set up very subtly here. Just by subtle emphasis. I'm saying subtle a lot. It's very subtle. And I'm going to subtly say subtle a couple more times. Without being too kind of obtrusive about it, there's just a gentle additional emphasis on some of those strums. Very cool way to set a rhythm up in the mind.
Babe, you're getting closer. The lights are going dim. The sound of your breathing, yeah, has made the mood I'm in. Well, all of my...
I love that there's a gentleness, there's a relaxedness to his tone here. He's not pushing anything. It's just being... He's just sort of putting out the music, and it's chill. It is him as the janitor, just kind of, you start singing along to a song, and by the end of it, you're belting it out into the space. But at the beginning, it's, when you're in a public space, especially, I've done this, I've started singing, and you don't realize you're going to be belting by the end of it, but you sort of start with doing that, babe, you're getting closer, da, 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 and you grow through the song and suddenly realize you get to the end of it and there's 3 people at the top of the theater who are kind of like, what? Which is exactly what happens here. Yes, I'm speaking from experience. But it's such a nice way to start this, because we have started with this guitar that is not in your face, this percussion that is, you almost have to listen to even realize it's there, and then this voice that is not pushed, it's not belting, it's just carrying along the top of that accompaniment. It's great.
Has made the mood I'm in. Well, all of my...
I also love that we get that that you get the piano intro there. I feel like that would either have to be a piano or a bass. Those are the 2 instruments that speak to me for that kind of rhythm. And I love the fact that it's paying tribute to the piano that's in the Elvis arrangement. That's fantastic. Great choice of instrumentation there. And the very slight... It's not a honky-tonk, but it's got just a little bit of a honky-tonk sound to it. That sort of almost slightly detuned quality. But it's not... Like, it's 10%, but it's just enough to give it a bit of a vintage vibe, and that's very cool.
Has made the mood I'm in. Well, all of my resistance lying on the floor.
This is so good, because the piano is just doing this dum, 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 dum. The guitar hasn't changed, the percussion hasn't changed, and Geoff is being so melodramatic. It's great. And it's nice, because it's the start of the escalation that's going to happen throughout the piece. It's perfect. And then I love that he's just singing to the broom.
Distance, lying on the floor. You're taking me to places that I've never been before. Ooh, when I can feel it.
And then you get this great movement of dance partner to guitar. The thing is, if you were bored as a janitor, this is exactly what you would do. Or at least it's exactly what I'd do. And I know for a fact that there's a couple of people, because I used to hear the janitor at my school singing a couple of times. Just brilliant. And then I love... you have this great shift. You have the elevation of him going from flat on the floor to standing up. You have the increase in the sort of intensity of the band behind him, and you have the lighting change, all happening at once to just shove everything up a notch.
Before. Ooh, when I can feel it.
And then you get the chorus of Geoff's coming in the background, but we don't... What's interesting to me here is we see Geoff performing. We don't see the Geofettes. They're in the video, but they're not singing. He's obviously, that's what him doing it. We know that. But it's an interesting decision here to have them visible throughout the video, or throughout most of the video, but not actually performing with him. It's nice. It kind of gives Geoff the real chance to kind of show off and have a really good time in his space, without needing to kind of do the complex kind of movement algorithm, for want of a better word, that has to be created to do a multi-screened video. And I think something like this would be tough with all the choreography, like, timing the chair fall on 4 different Geoffs. You could screen it out, but if they interacted with each other in any way, things like that would get complicated. Anyway, I am getting ahead of myself.
To places that I've never been before. Ooh, when I can feel it, feel it. Way down where the music plays.
I love just the genuine joy on his face while he's performing this. This is so much fun. I love this build that we have here with the Geofettes coming in.
When I can feel it.
You kind of get this increasing harmony. I think it's not expanding that much, in the sense that it's not like it's a sort of feel it, and then feel it stays down there, but now we've got to feel it up here and then a feel it up there. He's not doing that. It's more, it's like a chord underneath, and the entire chord shifts up each step. That's what I'm hearing anyway. And of course him going up as well. And it's such a nice introduction, because it fits well with the song. It brings them in at a natural point of kind of heightening intensity going into this next section. It's a really, really smart introduction at that point to bring them in and not expand everything too much. He has so much space left to move into now with what he does with them. This broom is just, it's something like this. It makes for such a good prop for videos like this, because you can do a lot with it. It's not particularly heavy. You know, brooms like this you can manipulate very easily, which is great because it means you can do a lot with them. And it's making this video so dynamic. Like, he just keeps... There's not much going on. We've added the bright light on the curtain. The lights around the cross arch are now flashing. And he's just moving a lot. And there's a lot of camera movement involved too, because, you know, Steadicam was a great choice for this. You want this video to feel like it's in motion all the time. But it feels really dynamic because of what's going on. And I love it's a guitar, it's a microphone, it's a dance partner. Like, this is just, it's the multi-purpose broom. This is just so good. Oh, I love it. I can tie her away, way down where the fire blaze, way down. Also, great touch in this, actually. I'm just going to jump there. For shots like this, the amount of stuff they've left off to one side as well. Like, they've set dressed against the black curtain over there because it gives the camera so much, like a significantly wider range of movement. If they hadn't set dressed that area, you kind of have to keep it, you know, pretty much out of camera. But you can have this wide movement. You can change the you know, where Geoff is in the frame very easily and things like that. It's really smart. I also actually love, I did comment on this before, but I love these two kind of, I think they're Fresnels, the type of light, but these two sort of spotlights that we've got off to one side focusing in. And it's actually really good camera work and lighting design that they are not blowing out the camera from the fact that they're pointing in its direction. But it's really effective because you're getting the highlight, but you're also seeing that the highlight's there. It's kind of adding to the thrown togetherness of this. Whereas if you had them as ceiling spots that you don't actually get to see, it might lose a little bit of that impact. The choice to actually have them on camera is a really smart move, I think. Way down where the music plays, way down like a tidal wave, way down where the fires blaze, way down. Now this is nice. I love the fact that the first really deep note we get is from one of the Geofettes. It's not from Geoff himself. If you listen to that, the way on down there, one of the backing singers is an octave below him. And then he sings it here. Now that I say that, was that him? It's interesting because the way on down is at the forefront, but the way on down is what he then moves on to sing, and the way that the singers stop, the mouth movement would indicate that that was him the whole way through. Curious. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, actually, now that I've said it. But I do like the focus. I like the fact that the focus is not on the first deep note. It happens in the background. and then gets repeated into the forefront. It's cool because you almost miss it. Like if you're listening primarily to the melody, that's what you will hear. But the ear will subliminally pick up on it. Of course, if you're listening for the deep notes, you hear it, you know it's there and all that sort of thing. But it's a really interesting mixing choice, and I really like it a lot.
My head is spinning. You've got me in your spell.
Now this is so interesting because we come back in, he's back up in his higher register, but we've now got a much more complex, almost bluesy harmony happening underneath. So it's a very different tone. And of course we've changed the color of the back set because it's very, very, it's presumably a white light on the curtain there that's kind of giving it this pink hue in the center.
My head is spinning.
And then we go back. Now this is because we get that there, but we go back in. Sorry, I was distracted by something else. And we go back here, and now all of a sudden the lights are out around the outside, and we have this blue color. And I just like that. I think it's a really nice touch. And also, I think this is a very cool use right here of that kind of TikTok transition, because it's just kind of a lot of fun. I'm calling it that. I don't know if there's sort of like a name for it, but that thing where somebody does this, and then they're in a different shirt. I'm laughing at myself because I recorded the line about the TikTok transition a minute ago, said, damn, I should have done it in a different shirt, and then decided to re-record it with that, because apparently that's the kind of mood I'm in today. But in this case, of course, not a different costume. Well, the gloves on, I guess. But the different lighting change. And it's a really nice adjustment, because we're going into this kind of more bluesy feel in the music. Why not have a bluesy feel in the background? Great choice.
My head is spinning. You've got me in your spell.
And that's nice too. There, we've got this lovely, ooh, my head is spinning. This really kind of cool harmonies going on, and then got me, and then in your spell goes back out into the harmony again. But just those two notes there, got me. I mean, ultimately, got me in your spell, you got me. And so the fact that those are the two words that are emphasized by being in unison with the Geoffettes, smart move.
You've got me in your spell.
And oh, the snap!
You've got me in your spell.
How did I miss that last time? That's genius! That is genius, I tell you. That snap was great. Again, subtle. I'm going to use that word again because sure. But it's subtle. You don't necessarily hear it. But it's so effective. And then I love this toss-in of the mop. Was this the inspiration for Violain? I don't know. But I like it. It's just always a fun device of having something thrown in off screen. Also, I love the fact that Jeff's not looking, so it kind of looks like he's got the force. Because why not?
Magic fingers, a burning carousel. Come on.
And then the use of the... And now this is so smart. Sorry, I totally just distracted myself there. I was going to say the use of the mop head as hair. Traditional, cliche use of mop, but so effective in this. But then I love you have this double thing of, come on, is clearly something that the singer is doing. But Geoff here... I don't know how to pronounce this, Geoff. Is he just Geoff? Because I know that a lot of these were spawned by mispronunciations of Geoff's name. I grew up with a Geoff in my family, so I never questioned the pronunciation of Geoff, but I can totally see why it would be a little strange to anyone who hadn't seen it before. But the fact that he's just like, come on, to the rest of the Geoffettes to start bringing them in. And then like, through the curtain as well. This is great too. This is choreography of a sort. It's movement direction, really. But the fact that it's being, there's so much going on in the sort of B scene of this with the Geoffettes in it is genius. I also love that real Geoff, is the only one with a printed name tag. These guys all have theirs written on.
Fingers, a burning carousel. Come on.
And now with full-blown harmony. There is no solo Geoff standing out at all on that line. It is entirely harmonized and blended together to be kind of like... I can't think of a good male group right now, but I want to say like Andrew's Sisters type singing, where it's like no one stands out particularly. You just hear this kind of amazing wall of harmony come out. Really, really great moving. Great moving. What is coming out of my mouth today? Really, really great movement was what I was trying to say in those lines as well. I guess Beach Boys kind of gear towards that kind of wall of harmony type thing. They might be the best example. Anyway, back to this.
Come on.
Oh, that harmony too is great.
Come on.
Because even when it settles down to me, medicine within me, it's not. You kind of feel like it's going to resolve. It's going to be medicine within me, me, or something like that. But it doesn't. It's still got some dissonance in there, maybe a sus4 or something like that. I can't quite pick it out. But there's something in there that's just providing a lack of finality to those chords. It's just such a good decision.
Come on.
No Doctor Could, again, unison, and then that lovely prescribe. Really, really great choices of when to drop out of harmony here. It's not happening it's happening often enough to be a really cool feature, but not so often that you're kind of questioning the changes. The look on Geoff's face. Oh, I just heard the snap again. I'm guessing it's kind of like an orchestral whip. If you haven't seen them before, an orchestral whip, you'd see it in Sleigh Ride. If you watch an orchestra play Sleigh Ride, you'll see there's someone at the back with it's basically two pieces of wood hinged together, and you have a knob to hold on to, and basically what you do is you clap them, so it's like it's that, but because it's two pieces of wood snapping together, and they're it's about I don't know, 2 feet long. It creates a very loud snap. I'm wondering if it's that's being used for that or something similar. Not sure, but that's the kind of vibe it's giving me anyway. The look on Geoff's face here, which I think this is Geoff, is going to repeat in a second. He does that kind of either really creepy or really creeped out. He has great expressions for those. Hello, Geoff. Okay, so yeah, great. I love the little record scratch that we get there. I love that by this point, Geoff with a J is now kind of like, okay, this is cool, whereas Geoff is starting to kind of get that what the going on. Yeah, great use of the record scratch here. Oh, and then they both get surprised. Now this is a good trick to pull off, and can I say it's also a really good trick to pull off on a folding chair. By which I mean, it's not a smart one to pull off on a folding chair, but it's a great one if you get it right. I have done this exactly 4 times in my life for a routine I did for a show way back when, and the first time I did it was in rehearsals. I did it on a folding chair, and the chair folded too early. Now, I got lucky and landed in such a way that I landed on both feet and didn't get knocked over by the chair falling over behind me. But I know for a fact it's tough to do. If maybe these chairs are a little harder, you want them to be a little harder to fold. But I do notice once he lands on the floor, it folds up behind him. So I hope he didn't get injured practicing this one, because doing it on a solid chair is significantly safer. I love that they do that to each other. Now there's a very subtle. It's just the word of this video. Okay, that's fine. Shift in the expressions. Now it's impressed. They've gone from like butt shake to cool chair stunt. It's just so much fun. Oh, I love what they... Oh, I just realized they're wearing different colored undershirts. Tiny detail, but great. And I can feel it. Great tearaway. Tearaways are so much fun. It's a fantastic costume device, and I love that they used it in this. And I also like that he rips away to kind of similar colors, like he's still got like gray and black. Oh. Oh! The undershirt was sewn into the overalls. That's clever, too. Unless this is a complete trick costume change, but I don't think so. I think that's just a terror. But I think that little piece of white undershirt that we could see there was actually sewn into the overalls. That's really clever. I didn't pick up on that first time. But yeah, he's still got the grey underneath, which is, it's a nice touch. It kind of keeps consistency, even though he's changed into a significantly cooler costume. Yeah, it's great. Then Geoff gets hit with them. And now, because he's cool, he's actually got the microphone. So this is probably him imagining himself being awesome. But he's now got the microphone. Incidentally, that is a Shure Super 55. It's a fantastic mic for looking vintage. It also sounds really good. Not plugged in, of course. You can see there the mic stand going into the mic, and then just in front of it for us, behind it on the microphone, there's an empty slot where the cable would go. But yeah, it's a fantastic mic. I'm sorry, I totally distracted myself there. Oh, right, and now we have the pulsing lights on the back because we've kind of gone into the party section of the video. Again, great touch. Really, really like that. The reactions the Geoffettes have in this are priceless. It's actually great in a way that they're not on screen with him, because I feel like you can focus on the reactions more easily without having to watch. I mean, obviously I'm watching it again, and I'm going back repeatedly, but it's easier to catch them than in. I love the multi-Geoff videos, but this is a very cool way of doing it as well. The toilet brush. Again, fantastic choice. Also, I haven't commented on it yet, but Geoff's voice sounds amazing singing this. I really like him singing the kind of, this light rock and roll type thing. It's actually really good for his voice. And it suits this style particularly suits the depth he can go to. I mean, obviously the original song had the C2s in it. Yes, we know that. But it's really, really effective. And he sounds fantastic singing this. And there we have it again. Is he about to do the same thing? We have it in the background, then we have it in the foreground. And then Geoff just shows off. And does that great fall. He does those falls so well. Like, sliding down through the subs is tricky, I think. I'm still working on making subs themselves sound good. Great stuff. Oh! Down. This section is so cool. But that lovely slide up there is fantastic. Yes, Geoff. This man can move. I really, really like that harmony section. There's a sort of a simple movement that's being repeated that's just very effective. And it's the same chord sequence repeated 4 times, I think, or pretty close. But the movement of the instruments underneath just gives it the interest as the piano kind of changes around a little bit and things like that. It's just really, really nice. I think that's a extremely well put together harmony for that little section. And I love that Geoff just kind of comes in here with no real idea of what's going on.
Way down where it feels so good. Way down like I hoped it would.
Now here we go to a different instrumentation again, because we get the harmonic way down and then just the guitar. So it's pulled back a little bit here, and you just get the interjections in the gaps between Geoff singing the lines. Very, very effective.
It feels so good.
And it's got the way down at the bottom there as well.
Way down like I hoped it would. Way
And I love that Geoff and Geoff have actually started singing along as well.
Way down like I hoped it would. Way down like I never could.
And then using the spray bottle. So even though he's cool, he's still using janitor props, which is great because it tells you he's still a janitor, really. He's kind of in a dream sequence right now. And now Goff's got the surprised expression on his face. I actually really enjoy the choice to have sort of the supervisor come in the suit as well. Comedy is great in threes, right? Janitor, not janitor. Very, very smart. God! Wow! What is that? Other than just utterly stunning. Oh, those chords, my goodness! The richness of this section. Oh, that right there, that transition. The da, just that sudden push back up again. You don't feel it coming. And they go up to this wonderful, rich chord. Like, it kind of enriches a little bit from the three going down, at least to my ear. Maybe it's the tone they're hitting. Maybe they've added an extra note in or something like that, or separated the notes a bit, added a tiny bit more dissonance to it. But my goodness, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so clever too. We go up, we start that way on, and then we hit this really lovely minor chord up there. And then go down into this lovely dissonant kind of crunch. And then resolve into the tonic chord of the song. That sequence, my goodness. That is outrageously good. That writing is superb, Geoff. Damn. I mean, that is the perfect ending to this arrangement of this song. Obviously, we're going to get to the deep section in a second, because I love the the down, super duper low. I'm assuming I don't have a piano to hand, and actually my phone is suffering a little bit right now, so I can't bring up my little piano thing, but I am assuming that is a C1, given that we're in C major for this, which is delightfully low. I have now heard the B0, so I know he goes below this, but my holy mother of goodness, that C1 rather is stunning. And it's just, I love that we settle onto something, and it's a perfectly standard way of ending something, but we settle onto this lovely chord and then just plummet down into the depths of the boots to sing something this low. I'm sorry, I need to go back on this again, because wow. Down, way on down, way on down, way on down. Oh, also, the gentle rallentando there, the slowdown. Way on down, way on down. Really nice pacing on that. It's, again, perfectly logical move to slow down there, but just there's something to my ear. It is so pleasing, the pace at which he slowed down. It's just spot on. Yeah, really, really like that. I just saw how Goff's just like, yeah, fine, I'll join in, way on down. I keep interrupting this. It's just so much to see. Damn, Geoff! That C1 sounds amazing. Really. Also, I love there's again very gentle in the background, just the piano hit on the final triad, like the ending chord. Maybe a guitar hit as well. The piano is what I'm really hearing. But that's just such a nice touch as kind of like the end of it. And it's very barbershop, having this kind of, this coda that slides all over the place. And then one part breaks off. And it's either usually the tenor who soars off into the stratosphere or the bass who drops down. Occasionally someone in the middle just does a slightly more reserved movement. But if it's going to go somewhere extreme, it's going to be the top or the bottom. Very, very barbershop, which, of course, love me some barbershop music. Even that, the richness of the A1, G1, the way on, down. I don't have subs warmed up right now. I'm not even going to try that. But my goodness, the richness of that tone, and then this C1. Woo! That's potent. That is potent. Like, that's the fullness of the sound is what makes it so impressive. Like, it's one thing to kind of get down there and, you know, just make a down type sound. But to get down there and have it, like, reverberate somebody else's chest cavity, never mind your own. That's remarkable.
Misty mountains cold was...
Is he eating popcorn? From the... I don't know why that tickled me so much, but that's amazing. And yet it's Geoff who has the expression of distaste. Which, I mean, to be fair...
Misty mountains cold
Oh, it's at the...
was way better.
Oh! I didn't realize what was going on there. That's brilliant. Oh my goodness. The toilet brush lick. This video is precious. This is... Oh my god, I've just stuck fingerprints all over my glasses. Oh my goodness, this is good. I adore the arrangement. I adore the video. This is just great, great fun. I think what's so great is I feel like Geoff captured the feel and the kind of tone, musically speaking, of Elvis's version of this, but the amount of... No, that didn't make anything any better. The amount of humor he's injected into this at the same time and really made it his own take on this is phenomenal. And of course, the fact that, you know, one of the big sort of standout points of this was the fact that you had Sumner singing a C2 and Geoff then just goes and throws a C1 in at the end. I mean, brilliant choice. Incidentally, I've been saying all of that knowing I don't have the piano behind. That is the same key as the Elvis version, which is why I can gauge those notes. That was brilliant. Thank you to everyone who recommended it to me. I'm sorry I didn't sort of write down every time someone said, oh, there's this really cool thing in Way Down, which I have since started clocking as being a recommendation rather than, you know, just someone said, you should do this, which is where I took it from originally. Goodness, that was brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Geoff, and everybody else involved with that. That was a stunning video. I'm so glad. That's just put me in a good mood for the rest of the day. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching with me. Please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to choose how often you would like to hear about my videos being posted online. I go for every Friday at 5 p.m. EST. Oh, one thing I didn't say was I apologize if I haven't replied to any comments on YouTube for a while. I've had a really busy bit of time at work because it has also been leading up to me being away for a week. I'm going to be away until the beginning of June, first few days of June. I'm still away as well, so I might be a little while catching up with comments. I am actually away at the time this video comes out. I've pre-recorded this because I was already away this week. So yes, my apologies if I haven't replied to comments or responses or anything for a while. I will get to them, I promise. Also, I didn't say this yet, but please, well, I didn't at the end of the video, please do head to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts if you would like to support the channel. Would be gratefully appreciated. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and just enjoyed watching Geoff again, because how could you not enjoy that? That was marvelous. Thank you very much for joining me on this. I hope that you have an excellent 11:37 a.m. That to freak out anybody who is watching this video at exactly that time. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now. And then we get a very cool TikTok transition, which is just what I'm calling anytime somebody does this and is suddenly someone different. And that would have worked so much better if I'd changed shirts.